Last week, my wife had a birthday. We celebrated it with lots of cards and people sending greetings and so on, although a bit surprising at celebrating birthday in lockdown. I'm sure she'll remember this as a different way of celebrating. Happy birthday to my lovely wife. But actually this last Sunday was a birthday of arguably even greater significance, the birthday of the church. The celebration of the arrival on the day of Pentecost of the Holy Spirit in incredible power. Of course, the Holy Spirit had been around from the very beginning. He's God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. But on this occasion, Jesus has ascended to heaven, and the Holy Spirit, therefore, is sent as the comforter, the one who comes alongside to help, the equipper, the giver of fruit and gifts, and the church, taken from a pathetic little band of people struggling to this great explosion of life and energy. And here's the reading in Acts chapter 2. Perhaps some of you considered this when you were Zooming at your church service on Sunday. When the day of Pentecost came, they were all together in one place. The exact opposite of lockdown, actually, when we're all gathered in separate places. But there were 120 of them in the same place. And suddenly, a sound like the blowing of a violent wind came from heaven and filled the whole house where they were sitting. They saw what seemed to be tongues of fire that separated, then came to rest on each of them. And all of them were filled with the Holy Spirit and began to speak in other tongues as the Spirit enabled them. So Acts 2 begins in this incredibly dramatic way. The power of the Holy Spirit, the birthday of the church. It seems that this situation, which although it's easing in most of the world now and gently, incrementally, painfully, slowly, we're moving out of this phase, nevertheless, we still bear some of the scars of lockdown. Indeed, some of us are still shielding or sheltering in place and are not yet really able to have any of the freedoms that we would like. But the birthday of the church arrived in just the same way. The virus couldn't stop Pentecost arriving. Lockdown can't stop Pentecost arriving. And something really important to remember in this, that the rhythms of life, not just in nature, the great arrival of spring, which we've noted on several occasions, but the great stations of the church year, the moments we remember key events, those things haven't changed because our faithful God isn't constrained by global circumstances. So today, thank God for Pentecost, for the fact that the Holy Spirit birthed the church in such a dramatic way, and the church isn't dead, it's alive because the Holy Spirit is alive. So be encouraged today that nothing can crush the life out of that Spirit, and invite this Pentecost Spirit to be part of your experience today, so that your life will be filled with the birthday celebrations of the church, the present that God gives us on the church's birthday. We unwrap it with great glee and find the Holy Spirit's there. Wow, the greatest gift of all. So pray today for the spirit of joy, the spirit of hope, the spirit of fullness, the spirit of power. All those things seem weird even to ask for in this time of constraint. We are constrained, but God is not constrained. And Pentecost makes that abundantly clear. So as this week after Pentecost unfolds, don't lose the joy and the celebration of last Sunday, but every day ask to be filled with the Holy Spirit of God and live in the glory of Pentecost, day after day after day.